Ever felt overwhelmed at the grocery store or anxious picking a movie on Netflix? It turns out, having too many choices doesn't free us, it traps us. We live in an age of abundance, hundreds of cereal brands, endless dating profiles, infinite streaming options. On the surface, this feels like freedom. But Barry Schwartz argues that this explosion of choices is backfiring. The more options we have, the harder it becomes to choose, and the less satisfied we are once we do. Like standing in front of 50 salad dressings, the sheer volume can leave us stressed, not empowered. The takeaway? More isn't always better, sometimes, it's just more overwhelming. When faced with too many options, our brains stall. This is known as decision paralysis. For example, in one study, shoppers were more likely to buy jam when shown 6 options than when offered 24. Because too many choices lead to overthinking and fear of making the wrong move. This hesitation increases anxiety and often leads to no decision at all. The takeaway: when choices multiply, confidence plummets. Limiting options can help you take action. Schwartz introduces 2 decision-making styles: maximizers and satisficers. Maximizers seek the absolute best in every situation, they research obsessively and often regret their decisions. Satisficers look for something good enough and move on. For example, a maximizer might spend weeks finding the perfect pair of jeans, while a satisficer buys the first comfortable, decent pair and never looks back. Interestingly, satisficers are happier. The lesson? Perfectionism in decision-making comes at the cost of peace. Tiny decisions, like what toothpaste to buy, shouldn't drain us. But when every small choice feels like a high-stakes decision, the mental toll adds up. Schwartz calls this the tyranny of small decisions. Each one chips away at our mental energy, leaving us exhausted by the time big choices come around. Think of it like spending all your willpower before lunch. The key takeaway: save your energy for what truly matters by automating or limiting trivial choices. More options raise expectations. If we have 20 products to choose from, we expect near perfection. But when the result inevitably falls short, even slightly, we feel disappointed. For instance, if you choose a restaurant out of 50 and the meal is only okay, you blame yourself for not choosing better. This self-blame feeds regret. Ironically, fewer choices often lead to greater satisfaction, because we focus more on enjoying what we chose than obsessing over what we didn't. FOMO, fear of missing out, is a real emotional consequence of excessive choice. When you pick one option, you're painfully aware of all the alternatives you didn't choose. This lingering regret makes even good decisions feel bad. Schwartz explains that imagining what could have been is a recipe for dissatisfaction. For example, picking a job offer but constantly comparing it to others makes you less content, even if the job itself is great. The solution? Accept trade-offs and commit fully. More choice seems to promise more control, but it often delivers more stress. Constantly evaluating options, doubting decisions, and wondering what if creates mental clutter. Schwartz shares research showing that people in wealthy, choice-rich societies are often less happy than those with simpler lifestyles. Simplicity breeds clarity and contentment. Happiness doesn't come from having it all, it comes from valuing what you have. So how do we escape the choice trap? Schwartz offers practical tips: limit your options, set standards in advance, and embrace satisficing. Decide on the top 3 things that matter, and ignore the rest. For example, when buying a phone, prioritize battery life, camera, and price, forget the 20 other specs. Also, practice gratitude to counter regret. These simple habits create a buffer against overwhelm and increase day-to-day satisfaction. The paradox of choice reveals a hidden truth of modern life: too much freedom can feel like a prison. Barry Schwartz makes a compelling case that cutting back on options doesn't limit us, it liberates us. By understanding how excessive choice impacts our emotions, behavior, and well-being, we can reclaim control over our happiness. The key is not to have everything, but to appreciate and commit to the few things that truly matter. If this summary helped you rethink the way you make choices, leave a comment with your biggest takeaway. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to live smarter and stress less.